5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. We're here in, week 4 already? Holy cow, season's going fast. Packers are 3-0, best record in the NFC, and tied for the best record in the NFC. And they've got 3 NFC wins, and they've got another NFC game coming up against the Atlanta Falcons. This is a chance for them to go into the bye at 4-0. Boy, you can't blow, and they're playing at home. This is really an important game for them, isn't it?
Well, I think all of the games are important, Tom. I think that's the reason why Matt LaFleur is an amazing coach. He keeps his team focused. So they don't have to hear weird stuff that the media going, is this a trap game? No. He keep his guys just focused. Just talk about Atlanta. Okay, we did a great thing in the Saints. Everything looked great. But it's about beating Atlanta. That's the only way you can get to their ultimate goal, because they read all the clippings about how great they are and things of that nature. You keep it in the locker room. But for the most part, you stay focused that you can really do some damage at 4-0 going into a bye, okay? Yeah. But at the same time, Tom, you also have to look at some of the mistakes to make sure that these mistakes don't hurt you, because as you know, for a long time, other teams see the same thing that you see.
Yeah. Before we get to the matchups, let's talk about injuries. And first off, Christian Kirksey injured his shoulder. And there's a real possibility that Ty Summers will have to start in his place. And I actually thought he played okay. He missed some tackles on Alvin Kamara, but so did everybody else.
Yeah.
And what did you think of him?
Well, here's the thing. Anybody you see miss a tackle that you don't know, you shouldn't be upset by that. This is really, let's be honest, this is really these guys' 4th preseason game. In a pandemic, there was no preseason. So I'm going to give guys some space. I'm not going to ask, Summers to become Blake Martinez overnight. But what I will say, he knows the defense, he commands the huddle, and he understands where he's supposed to be. Making the play is something that I think will come. The good thing about it, though, here's the good thing about it, Tom. Sometimes when the green dot gets injured, it messes your whole plan up. But for some reason, this got to be one of the smartest teams. Yeah. They prepared guys, because I really was shocked to even see Billy Turner at right tackle and Lucas Patrick at guard. But these guys have been preparing for it. So I would tell Packer fans that you really have to give these guys some space, because this really is, Tom, on-the-job training. Yeah. Because you got these guys 3 or 4 games in preseason. Okay, they're a lot sharper. Remember, they didn't have a lot of pad practices. So, and I know people say, oh, that's just a bunch of spin. Maybe it is. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to ask these guys to do anything but do their job. Now, do you want 5 guys missing a tackle? No. Do you want them to miss 13 tackles in the whole game? No. So as a coach, you try to teach lining up properly. And then after that, you let your athletic ability take over.
Okay. So the other question the question that faces the Packers this week, actually 2 of them, do they play Kenny Clark? Do they play Davante Adams heading into a bye week? Both don't have really serious injuries. Kenny Clark practiced last week, but they decided to hold him out. Davante Adams did not practice last week, and they decided to play that safe. Do they play that safe again this week and try to get through Atlanta and then give them 2 weeks with the bye?
That's what I would do. I mean, you scored 37 points without Davante Adams. Matter of fact, you're 5-0 in 2 years without Davante Adams. And you would also look at, if you're Kenny Clark, there's no way I would mess with hamstrings and groins. You need these guys this will be the first quarter that'll be over. Hopefully you're 4-0. Moving into the next quarter, you want your team to be as healthy as possible. When you have the Titans and you have Minnesota, the COVID-19 hitting them, you expected, because they were like Major League Baseball, these guys go home, that was going to happen. But the soft tissue injuries is something. If you rush these guys back, or sometimes the doctors have to save me from myself, everybody wants to play. But if they re-injure those injuries, they may be done for the year. So here's an opportunity to rest. Don't rest because you're playing an 0-3 team. You rest, Tom, because that's a smart thing to do. So I think that they will err on the side of caution. But if you do see them out there, they're 100%. It is not an excuse. Because those injuries like that, you don't play while you're just kind of hurt. And I'll dispel one more rumor. For fans to say, I'd rather see Davante Adams at 60% because he's better than a guy at 100%, that's a myth. Players don't think like that. I'd rather have anybody 100% than a guy 50% or 60%. Players don't like to play that game. That's just something the fans and the media like to talk about. No, only go out there if you're 100%. Otherwise, you're doing a disservice to your teammates if you can't play to your ability.
Yeah, and really they got a great performance out of Alan Lazard in place of Adams. And interestingly, the Saints put all their coverage on Valdez-Scantling, and Lazard took advantage of it, and so did the tight ends. Yep. So let's move on to the Falcons, who very easily could be 2-1 if they knew how to field a onside kick and could defend Nick Foles. They are the fourth quarter folding tenths. They just cannot hold a lead, but it's clear they can score a lot of points. Whether they have Julio Jones, could be the second week in a row, the two of the best receivers in the NFL are on the sideline. But either way, they can score points.
And that's the thing about both defenses are not playing real good. I mean, you would want these defenses, and then Quinn is a defensive-minded coach, so you would think his defenses will be better. And that's the whole thing, that it was an issue, the reason why you really love the Packers. They never take the foot off their gas. Anytime number 12 is back there, they're trying to score. They don't care about they're up 21-7, 10. It doesn't matter. Matt LaFleur is trying to score. And I think that's the difference between the Packers and the Falcons. The Falcons do have a lot of talent. Calvin Ridley really looks like a true number one receiver, high pick out of Alabama. But again, it's all about, I can show as a coach, I can show my players plays that will make them say, whoa, this is a good team, and you respect them. But the reality of it is they were up 28-3 in the Super Bowl and lost that game. So something is going on there. So I'm sure their coaches will try to sell them that, the Packers will overlook you and you can go and win this game. That's not how it works. You really need to get to 4-0 as fast as possible. So don't take these guys lightly, because they can score. But the problem is the Green Bay Packers have been a fourth quarter team these last first and fourth quarters. That's when your great players step up, Tom. And they've been dominating those. So, and before people think you're supposed to get rid of Davante Adams, I want to go back to that for a minute. When you got Davante Adams, you're 1,000 yards the first two games. Without him, you're like a little bit at 400 yards. He's 100-yard difference. So you need Davante Adams moving forward. That's why I would not play him in this game to make sure he's 100%. You need your 17.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll see how the defense does. They once again had their issues. They made plays when they had to. Zadarius Smith made a huge sack fumble.
Huge play.
And it was actually just a fumble, but that was a big play. They played better defense at the end, but boy, they gotta clean some other things up. And we'll show that in X's and O's. Because
one of the X's and O's may get a little animated, but you can calm me down. You're a good LeRoy Butler whisperer. So
as you said, Calvin Ridley can hurt them, and we'll take a look at him as well in X's and O's. So let's go to your prediction.
Well, my prediction is going to be a high-scoring game. But, what do I know? I mean, these defenses, you can score on them. But it seems like the Green Bay Packers always come up with a turnover when they really need to. But tackling is an issue. The one thing about the Atlanta Falcons defense, they're a fast defense. They take a lot of chances. They give up a lot of opportunities. But it still comes down to the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is on fire. Not fire, fire. And listen, Matt Ryan is probably, whether you like it or not, is probably going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback because of all the gaudy yards that he puts up. But I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home 40-30. It'll be another entertaining game for fourth straight week. The Green Bay Packers is going to show on offense. They're going to try, maybe just like the 15-1 season, just put up a bunch of points and yards, and then hopefully the defense can catch up. But again, I believe in Aaron Rodgers, everything he's doing. Aaron Jones, great. MVS, he's on the come up. I love Robert Tonyan. And the last thing, the reason why Matt LaFleur is the best coach, okay, in the NFC is because each week it's a different guy, Tom. You have to love that. Remember, it was Davante Adams, Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, and then it was Alan Lazard. This week, who knows who it's going to be? Mm-hmm. That's why you got to love that locker room.
Okay, great. Well, we thank you for joining us. You've got some sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank VinnySausage.com. I will have the LeRoy Game Day Leap Brat next week. Ivanhoe's Pub and Eatery in Racine. They've been truly amazing. The home of the LeRoy Butler Burger, by the way. And I always want to thank Pick and Save. I'm working with Pick and Save now to feed over 250 families for Thanksgiving. So thank you to Pick and Save doing that. I really appreciate that.
All right. So don't forget to join us for X's and O's. You'll enjoy it. And don't forget to join us before the game Monday night against Atlanta. We'll be live. I'll make sure my power's working this time. Well, actually, I'll be in the press box, so it'll be on the Packers if the power goes out this time.
And people can go to PackerNews.com and see us as well.
Yes, and so be sure you come to either LeRoy's Facebook page or JS Online and Packers News, and we will see you then.
Bye.